Hello, Rama Rama Pupoda. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a peaceful life, relaxed, and happy always. Now let's continue with chapter 15. Wadhwan-Surat-Jhansi. The present presented part 1. Ramdas arrived at Wadhwan city. For the first night, he was put up in a vacant hospital building. Maganlal had adhered closely to him, and at the time, for him there was none in the world but Ramdas. He followed Ramdas like a shadow, doing every kind of service. On the second day, Ramdas was shifted to Chunibai's house. Here the people of the city started coming to see him. Dr. Sukla, an enthusiastic and earnest seeker after truth, paid him frequent visits. The Dewan of the state, a capable and pious man, also treated Ramdas with great affection. Also, some friends from Limdi came to see him again here. He met her Sadaka, Jivaraj, who lived in a small tent outside the city. Suddenly, Ramcharandas put in an appearance and proposed again to stick on to him. Mulshankar, an old Brahman from Drangadra, came to take him to his place. Ramdas started. It was decided to go as far as Wadhwan junction by taxi. It was morning. They arrived at the motor stand. To bid him farewell, quite a crowd followed him. While taxis were available at all times, that day, in spite of their waiting for nearly an hour, no taxi could be had. The friends showed signs of dejection and disappointment. Ramdas, all the while, was quite cheerful. Eventually, there was a return march to the city. Ramdas was seen going back smiling and dancing in the streets. Turning to the friends, he said, "Submission to the Lord's will means no worry and dejection. It is clear he wills that Ramdas should leave the place by train." There was a noon train. He and the party arrived at the station. Now the question arose if Maganlal should accompany Ramdas any further. He had been away with Ramdas from Junagadh for about 3 weeks. Moreover, Ramcharandas, who had now joined him, could attend to him. So he asked Maganlal to return to his family, who shook his head to signify that the advice was no good, and he was bent upon escorting him. A problem for Ram to solve, but the Lord knows how to carry out his will. Ramdas declared, "Listen, Ram, if you insist upon following him, he will have to take up water fast as long as you are with him. This is Ram's will. What do you say?" "I shall also do the same," was his calm reply. Maganlal, a friend, then urged, "You are a fine fellow. You would go with him only to inflict on him a fast. Give up the mad idea. Better stop away." He was obdurate for some time, but at last yielded. In due time, Ramdas and Ramcharandas arrived at Dharangadra with their escort. They were welcomed by a rich merchant who lodged them in the upstairs of a warehouse facing the main road. Ramdas still continued on milk diet. Here again, many people from the city visited him. Sadhus and householders, men, women, and children. He talked to them on his pet subject, devotion to God. The next morning, Maganlal was there in the room, falling at the feet of Ramdas like a felled tree. He seemed to have dropped from the clouds. So unexpected was his appearance. His deep affection for Ramdas had drawn him to him again. "Swamiji, forgive me," he appealed, sitting up. "I simply could not resist coming. I am not pressing to go with you any further. When you leave for Surat, I shall turn back to Junagadh." Malshankar was smitten with love for Ramdas. He was a sweet-natured and meek old soul. He would not be happy if he did not hug Ramdas to his bosom at least half a dozen times a day. He was saying that he had also the blessed opportunity of once embarrassing Mahatma Gandhi. Ramdas' stay in Dharangadra was short. By an evening train, he left for Surat with Ramcharan Das. It was here at the station of Dharangadra that Ramdas parted with a tweed gown presented by Raja Ram. He forced it on Mulshankar. In fact, he threw the rope on his shoulders when the train had just begun to move from the station. Maganlal, parting company with Ramdas, returned to his native place. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.